There we go, Amy. There we go. Nice, nice.
This music is great.
It's amazing. It gets you pumped up. It gets you so pumped up right before we jump straight into it.
Such
Oh,
great music for Monday morning.
we're recording Monday morning. It's 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's 11 a.m. here in the Central Time Zone. Amy, oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. Amy, we met through our mutual friend, Sora.
Yes.
I know that you happen to be one of her mentors, and when Sora and I recorded, and we're going to be releasing it actually very, very soon, she was saying that the greatest and most wonderful thing about you. But why don't we kick it off in kind of like an old school chain letter? Who are some of your mentors? Tell us a little bit about the people that made an impact on your career, and then we'll get into the meat of who you are.
Oh, that's such a great question. I was just thinking about it the other day that I've had several mentors along the way. Looking back, they were my mentors. At the time, I'm just like, I didn't even know, is that a mentor? Do we have a formal relationship that I call you a mentor? But like, that's something that people don't think about. We always try to put a formal name to that. My very first mentor, she didn't even know she was my mentor, but she was a senior VP at Intel when I first started my career. And I genuinely just went to her to say, hey, I don't see a lot of female in tech who made the transition from technology, tech into sales and marketing. And my undergrad was computer science and I hated it. And I wanted to get out of coding for the rest of my life. So I went to her and said, hey, how did you become the VP of sales? And I'm interested in that as well. Can you help me? And based on that conversation, she actually opened a couple of doors for me by telling me, hey, there are a couple of open roles on my sales team. Why don't you go and interview and see if you're interested and see if there's a fit? And that's actually one of the pivotal moments where I was able to move into the sales space. So that's an example of a fantastic mentor who turned into Gina Nichols. Hi, Gina. I will tag her in the video. Yeah, so she's one of the examples. And I think there were so many others along the way. There's a mix of mentor slash sponsor as well. A lot of times we hear people talk about you need a sponsor, you need a mentor, you need a coach, you need this and that. Sometimes we'll realize one person can play multiple hats as well. For example, one of the senior leaders I worked for, Sean Milkey, he was someone who saw capabilities in me and pushed me into a role that I rejected multiple times. I'm like, I'm not ready. I don't think I'm ready. My imposter syndrome was super high, a
Yeah.
brand new role I've never been into. He's like, you've got it. I'm going to push you and you're going to go try it. And that was yet another really great pivotal moment in my career where I started to become a manager of managers and eventually the senior leader that I became.
That's amazing. And you've worked at some great companies because obviously, after that role, you'd gone to Google, you've been at TikTok, and you decided to go on and build your own practice. What excites you about being part of the OhHello tribe, being part of what we're building? What excites you about OhHello?
I think I love, first of all, the mission of what it's trying to do, right? Like I said, we need your point. We need a tribe to help us to be successful. Growing up with my background, immigrant, Chinese immigrant, being a female, a lot of what I was taught is work hard and try to figure things out on your own. It's almost like a badge of pride to say, I did it myself, right? It's not necessary. There's so many people who've been there, done that, who can make the process so much smoother or share so much wealth of their information to help you accelerate your growth and to help you navigate your career. I have quite a few clients who came to me recently who are like, I want to play this corporate game, but I don't even know what game I'm playing or what the rules of engagements are. I don't want to figure everything out on my own. Isn't it great to have somebody who's been there to share that with me? So I think that's why the OhHello tribe is fantastic because you have a wide range of people you can reach out to based on your specific needs, based on your specific stage of your career. So that's why I love it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And You had mentioned your engineering and computer science background, so ILL, and
I and
there we go,
I.
there we go. It's not too often we have fellow Illini, so I had to do that.
Yes.
What defines you? Tell us a little bit more about just who you are as a professional and just personally.
Ooh, that's such a loaded question when people ask me, tell me who you are. Because I know, I think a lot about I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I am a woman, I am an immigrant, I am somebody who worked in the tech industry for 20 plus years. I was a senior leader. Now I'm a solopreneur with my own business.
Love it.
There are so many different identities that make up who I am. I just know that based on the last few years, especially me following my own company's name, Dream Plan Do framework to figure out what do I want to get out of my life. I feel like I've always been chasing the dream. I just didn't know whose dream I was chasing until recently. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I love that. I think that resonates and will resonate with so many people because we're all chasing a dream, but we're
Yes.
chasing other people's dreams. We're not necessarily focused on our own path, and also understanding that most of our paths are not going to be as linear as we are taught or told. So
Yes.
keep on going on that.
Yeah. I recently actually just had a conversation with someone about how I understand the midlife crisis a lot better now, especially me in that mid 40s,
Yeah.
age range. I think, especially for someone like me, chasing the dream just meant what it seems like to be success to most people out there, right? Good schools, good grades, good jobs, good promotions, good money, good house, whatever. It's nice to have all those things. But at the end of the day, I just felt like something is really missing. Am I truly doing what I love to do? For some people it's great that they're like, I want to climb the corporate ladder, I want to get to a certain level, make certain amount of money. There's no judgment. For me personally, I know the part I loved the most about my job was really working with people and help people realize their own potential. That's the part about management that I really loved, right? And I wanted to spend more of my time every day focusing on that. Versus in the corporate space, I realized I became more and more focused on only driving business results, and people are completely secondary. And that's not the space I wanted to be in long term. So that's where I made the switch into, starting my own coaching practice.
That's amazing. It also basically hits on just how you'd be able to the skill set that you offer, and just because of your background. Why don't you just for a moment or so just talk through your background about where you've been and how you're going to be able to help people through ohhello.io.
Yeah, definitely. So, like I said, started with a technical background, worked for first company was Intel, and then I moved to Cisco, Google, TikTok, all big names in tech.
Mhm.
And Google is when I moved from an individual contributor to a first line manager to a manager of managers. And then at TikTok, I was their global SMB, small medium business areas product marketing lead. So all of the global and regional product marketers reported to me. I've gone through this path of how do you navigate the entire corporate space? How do you think about getting promos and getting
Mhm.
opportunities? How do you reach out to people to become your mentors, to become your sponsors? How do you work with your managers? If your manager is good or not good, what do you do? And it's interesting that something I was reflecting on, I've definitely made some career changes because I've had not so great managers. I won't name names, but there was one person when I was pregnant with my first kid, he literally first thing said to me was, "Oh, that's inconvenient. Let's figure out who your coverage is going to be." And so that made
Oh,
me look for my next role, right? But on the flip side, a lot of people say, oh, I stay because of the people I work with and my manager. And sometimes that actually also may not be the right thing because you realize 3 years in, 4 years in, 5 years in, you're like, I stay because I'm happy or comfortable with my manager. However, I also felt like I could have done more and I didn't get there. So these are the types of things I can now bring into my coaching and talk to people where I play a mix of mentor slash coaching slash advisor role sometimes. And I clearly define that with each of my clients to say, what are you looking for? Because I can provide different types of aspects to whatever your goal is. And these are the types of conversations we talk about. How do we navigate this where you have a clear vision and we build a clear plan? And then I hold you accountable to take steps to achieve your goal.
Dream, plan, do. That makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Uh,
live.
love that. Amy, any parting words of wisdom before we both jump to our next one?
I just think whomever that's listening to this from the OhHello network, take the step to reach out to whomever you need to be reaching out to, whether or not it's a mentor, a coach, a sponsor. Just it's okay to reach out to people to get help to figure out what do you want to do and how can you get there faster, better. That's it. Good luck with everybody's dream plan. Do live.
Amazing. Amy, thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for
Thank
watching, for
you.
listening. Go book time with Amy.
Bye.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.